and this is Our Valley Santa Clarita Television. This is my lovely and very talented co-host, Nancy Angel.
Thank you for that introduction, Bill.
You're welcome. How are you, Nancy?
I'm doing well. How's your week going so far?
My week is going well, and I have to tell you, the weekend was absolutely incredible. We had a 4th of July weekend here in Santa Clarita. We had our annual Santa Clarita 4th of July parade. The Grand Marshal of the parade was our own Leon Warden. He was the Grand Marshal. He's the general manager of SCV TV, the station.
It was really hot, wasn't it?
Well, he was hot. It was really hot. We had music, we had firemen, we had bands, we had dancers, we had classic cars, we had horses. Oh my gosh, we had patriotic songs and honoring the military. It was awesome.
Are you serious? You're telling me that I missed all of that? I wasn't able to go to the parade this year.
You missed all of that, but for good reason.
I
you were up visiting family.
I visited family up in Turlock. I was there for a couple of days. It was amazing. It was super hot in Turlock. It's actually hotter in Turlock than it is in Santa Clarita.
Wow.
So we did a couple of water balloons fights, and we had some barbecue and just spent it with family, and it was a great time, actually.
Fantastic, fantastic. Listen, we missed you. When we come back, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the American dream and how it impacts every American.
Have a banana.
Eating well and playing go together like best friends.
You better believe it.
With the food pyramid, the bare necessities of living healthy are easy.
Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
So eat right. Be active.
Now move. That's it.
And don't forget to have fun. That's the way to be the best.
You're lots of fun, Baloo.
At anything you do. You can go to mypyramid.gov to play some games and find out more.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
I think it breaks a little to the left.
To the right.
Nope, straight.
I told you it was going right.
Get up, get up, get up, and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
For fun playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
Welcome back to Our Valley Santa Clarita. I'm Bill Miranda, and this is my lovely and very talented co-host, Nancy Angel. Nancy, we were starting to talk about the American dream in our introduction. Tell us, what does the American dream mean to you?
Personally, the American dream for me means a land of opportunities, being able to create dreams and making them a reality, not just for you, but for your entire family. When I mean about the American dream, I'm talking about my mom's American dream, my grandma's American dream, because they weren't able to accomplish or raise kids where they could have the opportunity to go to school or make something of themselves, so we would have stayed in our native country. So
Your native country is Mexico.
Exactly, Mexico. So they had to come to the United States to create those opportunities for their future children and for future generations as well. So the American dream definitely means something to me and to my entire family, because I don't think that I would be able to accomplish the things that I did if it wasn't for my mom and her quest to come to the United States.
Well, for starters, from an educational standpoint, it's very difficult to have achieved the level of education that your mom's children have achieved.
Absolutely.
You're a college graduate.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
You have a brother who just entered
Stanford University.
Stanford University.
Yes.
That's one of the best universities in the country and maybe in the world.
Definitely.
That's part of the American dream. How do you go from being the grandson of an immigrant to the son of a hardworking laborer mother to entering Stanford University?
It's just amazing because my mother had to endure so much for us to being able to have the opportunities that we have right now. I remember, you know, my mom always tells me this all the time, but she was actually pregnant, 9 months pregnant and picking strawberries weeks before I was born. And she continues to sacrifice herself to achieve that American dream. And I feel like a lot of people in this nation do that day after day to make sure and to ensure that their children get the opportunities that they deserve in this country.
And that's a key point. Most of those of us here in this country who want to achieve the American dream know that the American dream is not something that's just handed to you. Her mom worked in the fields, picking crops in the fields in Central California, so that she could make enough money and have a decent house so her children could get an education, go to college, go to Stanford, right? So there's a price that has to be paid with that. It's not just here's the American dream. The way it goes is like this. You come to this country and you struggle. And you take whatever job you have to take to feed your family, to house your family, to make a better opportunity to educate your family, to educate your kids. And so you work hard making that happen. And pretty soon your kids come and your kids learn the language and learn the culture and learn the customs and they assimilate. We like to call it biculturate. They're between two cultures. You're one culture, but you're learning the other culture, and you're kind of caught in between two cultures. And wow, then what happens is you get educated, you get your kids educated, you learn a trade, you learn an academic skill, you get better and better and better. And in this country, the American dream, you can advance from one class to another class. You can go from poor to middle class. You can go from middle class to wealthy class. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. What a great country.
It definitely is. It's an amazing country, and I think that a lot of people kind of take for granted the 4th of July is all about parades, which I love parades, don't get me wrong. It's all about fireworks. Who doesn't love fireworks? Don't get me wrong. It's all about going to the lake because I know Hispanics love going to the lake because I do as well. But it's much more than that. It's being able to kind of realize and reflect what our ancestors had to go through so we can enjoy the fireworks, so we can enjoy going to a parade, so we can just enjoy the riches and the opportunities that this country has for us. And I feel that a lot of people take that for granted, but it's good that we're talking about it right now because up next we're going to be talking to someone who is the embodiment of the American dream, don't you think?
We will. Before we get to our guest, Eddy Perez, I do want to mention my family's American dream. My parents came to this country from Puerto Rico. They came young. Unemployment in Puerto Rico was 34%. I mean, that's a number no one can imagine. There's 34% unemployment in Puerto Rico. And so it was during the Depression. My parents came to this country. They literally met here in this country. My father was very young. My mother was very young. They got married and built a future for their family. And I can tell you, a lot of us kids grew up to be good kids, to be good Americans, to honor our culture, and to get educated. When we come back, Eddy Perez, the embodiment of the American dream.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Where have you been?
I lost my cat.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, so I made this cat magnet to try and get him back.
Cool. Does it work?
Kinda.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's not my cat. I gotta keep working on it. See ya.
See ya.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
Welcome back to our Valley, Santa Clarita. In case you missed us during the first segment, Bill and I were talking about the American dream, right, Bill?
Yes.
And we were discussing about how important it is to achieve that American dream, to provide opportunities not only for us, but for our future generations. With us today, we have Eddy Perez, who is the perfect example of what living the American dream is all about. Welcome, Eddy. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sorry we made you wait for about 5.5 hours to talk to us.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for having me.
Eddy, you were born in Guatemala, lived a portion of your life there. Your father was an X-ray technician and your mother was a homemaker, and you lived a relatively happy and normal life during your childhood. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We upper middle class, normal neighborhood. That's the life I knew. Yes.
But at the age of 9, something kind of tragic happened in your life that kind of shifted the direction of your life forever. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We took a family vacation like we did every year, and tragically Dad drowned in a very, very dramatic accident, and we were all present when this happened. It was very difficult, very difficult. I remember it as if it happened 5 minutes ago. Every detail of it, every rock, every tree that was around the lake. And so yeah, that was very difficult for us. And so that immediately changed our lives.
Eddy, could I ask what caused him to drown?
Dad had according to what they found, this is a long time ago, he had a problem with an ulcer that started bleeding while he was swimming, so he sort of had a hard time breathing, which is very ironic because father had been a lifeguard part of his life as well.
Oh my goodness.
So the irony in there is amazing.
To be able to go through that at such a young age, I can't even begin to imagine or kind of process that through my head. But a couple of years later, then a civil war broke out, in Guatemala, which also kind of changed a different direction in your life and ultimately led you and your family to come to the United States. And you were around 12 or 11 at the time, is that correct?
I was about 14 years old. Yes.
So when the Civil War broke out in Guatemala, your mom kind of had to leave the children behind, leave you with your grandmother so she could find a safe place for you, and the rest of your family. Can you tell us, living through that, how you experienced it? Because you lost a lot of friends and family during the Civil War in Guatemala.
Correct. It was a very difficult time. And at the time, I have 2 brothers. I have an older brother and a younger brother. And we were at the right age to be picked. You had to go fight for one side or the other. You had no choice. And so mother had to leave and to try to secure a place for us to come, and we followed her after. And it was a very difficult time in our lives. And we lost some friends, some family members, and it was very, very difficult. But I'm grateful that I'm here.
So your mother left you in Guatemala with your brothers, I presume?
Yes, correct.
And she came ahead to find a home for you, create a life for her family, for her boys.
Correct.
While you stayed with your grandmother. Yes. And still had to endure the things that had to be endured in Guatemala, like the government troops coming and saying, get in the truck, or the rebel troops coming and saying, get in the truck. That had to be harrowing. How did you get through that?
It's, looking at it now, I wonder how I got through it myself. When you're in the middle of it,
right,
you see it from a different perspective. It became a normal day for us. We just knew that we were out playing soccer, and then you see 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks pull up. You had to run one direction or another because you would be picked, and that's it. You wouldn't be seen for a while, or not seen at all.
And not seen at all. That's crazy.
Correct, yeah.
So at the age of 14, your mom was able to kind of move you guys to the United States, where the language was definitely a barrier to you.
Yes.
And you attended school in the San Fernando Valley, is that correct?
Correct.
And tell us your experience about coming to the United States, not knowing the language, and kind of being able to assimilate and adjust into the American culture.
It was definitely very difficult. We did not speak English, of course, when we came. Mom had some very strict rules for us. Learn the language, learn the laws, love the country. Those were her rules. And so we set out to do exactly that. I went to school in San Fernando Valley, attended Belmont High actually for about a year, then moved to the Valley and went to school there. You know, then we continued to college and learned the language. We did exactly as she asked, and you know, I blinked, and here I am 35 years later. But it was an interesting experience, very difficult, and if I had to do it again, I wouldn't change very much, actually. Yeah.
It's a great learning experience, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Great learning experience.
So you are the embodiment of the American dream, because you endured so many things that even people in my generation, I can't even begin to comprehend, you know, what you had to go through when you were young, being able to experience so much loss. And it's sad when you say that it was a normal day, you know, for you guys to see, you know, the soldiers and taking young people and force them to be soldiers as well, and families not being able to see them again. And it kind of gives us it gives me kind of like a realization, thinking, wow, you know, I'm so fortunate and so blessed to be in this country, because I can go and sleep at night and not worrying about soldiers taking me away from my family. So it's definitely an eye-opening experience. But when we come right back, we're going to keep on talking to you more about what the American dream means to you and kind of your success story as well, right, Bill?
Yes.
Thank you.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Have you been a dad today?
No matter where you live, life in the ocean depends on you. To help protect our ocean, recycle and dispose of your trash properly. To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org.
I'm Jeremy Call, and I made suction tires. I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
We're very excited to be here with Eddy Perez. Eddy is an immigrant realizing the American dream from Guatemala. And Eddy, before the break, we were telling the story about how you got to this country from Guatemala. But now you're here, you've gone through high school, you've gotten a college education. Then what?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I've learned to love this country because the American dream is very, very much alive in this country. And it is very, very possible. I can tell you that from very personal experience. You know, I started working in the banking industry, actually, and worked in banking for about a decade. And as much as I love banking, it just wasn't what I really wanted to do. I sort of felt like my wings were a little constricted. And I remember getting a call from a company where they offered me a VP position running a few states, and this is a commercial and industrial building maintenance company, very large firm. And I remember going to Mom and telling her, hey, I'm leaving banking, but hey, I'm going to go work for a cleaning company. And Mom just shook her head and said, wow, is this the right move for you? And I said, I think so. I think so. And so I did that. I worked for this other firm for about a decade. I was on a plane about 100 times a year. I was flying
100 times a year?
I was flying every...
Frequent flyer miles.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yes, crazy. I was flying every Thursday to Las Vegas, where I had a district, and I was flying to San Diego all the time, had an office in Los Angeles, so I was very, very busy. Then my wife got pregnant with our second daughter, and I thought, I need to slow down, I need to be more at home, I need to enjoy my daughters, and I decided to start my own firm. Scariest day of my life when I did that. I was enjoying a very comfortable job with a decent pay and all the benefits and things. But we did. We started a company about 15 years ago here in Santa Clarita.
Millennium Maintenance.
Millennium Maintenance Systems. Started from the trunk of my car and started frequent, my office was a local coffee house and where I used to sit and make phone calls and things. And, then we started growing and growing and growing, and Millennium now has over 100 employees.
Over 100 employees.
Correct, over 100 employees. Wow. And, it has been a wonderful, wonderful journey. As we began to grow, I had to learn to add the components that make a business. The early days, it was just me, and then I added 2 employees, then I added another 3, then another 5. Wait a minute, now I got to add a payroll company, now I got to add this, I got to add that, now I got to have an accountant. I have a wonderful accountant, Alan Lyon, CPA, who just has coached me through the growing this business. And we've had good years, bad years, and but we are based here in Santa Clarita. I love this valley. My kids have gone to school here. I live here, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey with ups and downs. But again, I wouldn't change a thing if I had to do this over again. And so, it's just all about doing decent work, working very, very hard, not be scared of working hard. I'm out there sometimes with my crew just doing. When I get bored in the office, I go out and I find things to do. And sometimes I'm lucky that they put me to clean carpets or windows or do something that doesn't have to be looking at P&L reports all day. So
you just don't, you're not just a CEO. I mean, you get down and dirty when you need to.
I think it's very necessary.
Yeah.
It's very necessary. It's owning this business or starting it from scratch. I learned that you have to be there in the morning to put the chairs out. And then you have to be the one that puts the chairs away at the end of the day. That's just how I've learned to run my business. It's I've been involved in every aspect of it. I know how to do every single one of the jobs because I've had to add all these components while the business was growing. So, and I enjoy it. I really, really like it. I think it's very powerful when you can understand what it is that you're asking other people to do. And if you're not willing to do it yourself, then yeah, you really shouldn't be asking other people to do this.
Let me ask you, Millennium Maintenance, what is your target market?
We specialize in different fields. We do educational facilities. We do a lot of medical facilities. We are a BSL 3, which stands for Biosafety Level 3 certified. We do clean room environment, surgical room environment. We clean high-rise buildings, office buildings, the local dentist. We do just about everything. Currently, we are not targeting residential. We just do commercial, industrial, and office environment. And, anything and everything in between. Movie studios we do all the time. And, if it needs to be cleaned and maintained, we can pretty much figure it out for you. And Millennium Maintenance Systems implements a cross-contamination process that's very, very unique. It's all color-coded so that surfaces are not contaminated. And in this day and age, that's incredibly important. Everything that we do is green cleaning. We are at the very edge of technology when we use chemicals and cleaning products and procedures to stay up with the ever-changing world and the green movement that's going on, yes.
Excellent, excellent.
I want to basically just say thank you for taking the time to talk to us today and kind of share your story of perseverance and overcoming many obstacles. And I feel that by talking to you, it kind of put things into perspective in a lot of people's lives, don't you think, Bill?
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing the American dream.
Thank you.
When we come back, a closing from us.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back to our Valley, Santa Clarita. Now, Bill, today was an amazing show, don't you think?
It's an amazing show. Anytime you have Eddy Perez on the show, that's pretty amazing, the American dream.
I definitely feel like I learned a lot. I feel that I was able to take something out of it. Bill, you took something out of it as well.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things I like about the show, and the premise of the show, is we want to inspire, we want to educate, we want to motivate our viewers to succeed. You know, one of the things I say to people, anybody who listen to me, is get up off the couch. Make something happen. It's okay to make mistakes. He made mistakes. He admitted he made mistakes. But Eddy Perez got up off the couch and went beyond making mistakes. And you know what? There are a few things you got to have. You got to have passion. You have to have persistence. You have to have perseverance. You have to have courage.
One more thing. You have to have a lot of faith as well.
And you have to have a lot of faith. A lot of faith that you'll succeed. And here in our Valley, Santa Clarita, we try to bring those kinds of stories to you. Next week, when we come back, we're going to have another couple, a power couple.
Power couple, that's right.
We're going to talk about education and the importance of education to be successful. We're going to have Sandra and Marco Johnson from the University of Antelope Valley.
Absolutely. But before we go, people, don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we also have a Pinterest now. Isn't that great?
That's fantastic.
I need to start using Pinterest more. And send us your suggestions or questions through our website at www.ourvalleysantaclarita.com.
And remember, mi casa
es su casa.
Bye-bye.